Merry meet. I am so happy to be presenting for Moon, Serpent, and Bone Oddities and Curiosities Night Market. Thank you, Amy, for inviting me, and I'm excited to share with you the magical tradition of using the Psalms. Yes, the Psalms. Now, some of you are probably already familiar with using the Psalms in magic, but many of you may not really understand what that means. And so I thought maybe we could talk about it for just a moment here today. Now, I've been working the craft. I've been in the craft. This is going on my 40th year. Can you believe that? 40 years in the craft since I first started formal training. And one of the more surprising aspects of the craft when I was young was when my teacher recommended that we use psalms. And I never wanted to do that because I was raised Catholic. I was raised in the church, and I went into the craft because I wanted new things. I wanted witchy things. I didn't want psalms. But my teacher was such that said, do it because I say so. So I did it because she said so. And I did get some great results. But it wasn't until many years later that I started to recognize the actual magical tradition that is the Psalms. And so that's what I wanted to talk with you about today. So I have here a couple different Psalm books. Now, you can use a regular Bible if you'd like, or you can get a book of Psalms like what I have here. This is the one I tend to use. This one's out of print right now, but you can get it used. This one's in print, and there's a few other really nice books. Anything that's just the book of Psalms. I prefer the King James version just because I like that sort of Shakespearean language. And if you can find one that's got some nice illustrations, that's great because it tends to get our magical juices flowing. So now the way the Psalms work is this. The tradition of psalmic magic that I follow does not use the so-called 6th and 7th books of Moses, which is the bulk of what you will find out there with psalm magic. We do not use those books. We use only the Psalms themselves. The way that it was taught to me and the way that I continue to practice and teach is that the Psalms, the book of Psalms, is a complete book. It is a book unto itself. It's distinct. So it does not, for us, for our magical tradition, necessarily belong in the Bible. We believe that the Psalms predate the Bible and that it was included and it was actually appropriated. Those Psalms were appropriated and many of them really rewritten so that it conformed to the theological bent within what became the Bible. But actually the document is much older, and we consider it a spell book. It's the spell book of the Bible, many people say. So we consider the Psalms to be very magical, and the way that we interact with them is that each verse in each psalm is filled with seeds of magic. Seeds of magic. And if you can work the psalm appropriately and you can use the right psalm formula, you can accomplish almost anything with just the psalm. You don't need anything else. You can use other things, like sometimes we will incorporate talismans, sometimes we'll incorporate candle magic or poppets or other kinds of perfumes, things like that. We will incorporate other things, but according to our tradition, you need nothing but the psalm itself. It's all self-contained, 100% self-contained. Now, we do have a list of suggested uses within our tradition, but there's this little secret about psalm magic, and that is that you can use any psalm for any purpose. Now, some psalms are very direct. If you use a prosperity psalm for prosperity, it's a very direct route to your goal. But if you didn't know any better what psalm to use and you just picked one at random and you said, I need some money, Psalm 109, you could just go through Psalm 109 the way that we teach you how to do it using our psalmic formula, and you will be able to get that prosperity using that psalm. Now, it may take you a very different route. You may really see a lot of scenic routes. You may have lots of errands to run on the way to your goal. Eventually, you will get there, and you will maybe get there faster using a prosperity psalm versus using a different psalm, but you will get there. So you don't have to worry about working the wrong psalm. What you do need to concern yourself with is the psalmic formula, and this is how it goes. You take the psalm and you read it through out loud all the way once without stopping. We call this an incantation. And then you go back through the psalm and you take it verse by verse, sometimes even line by line, and you unlock the inner meanings within each of those verses. You consider them. You consider the inner meanings, you contemplate the inner meanings, you search for them, you dig for them. And it's through that searching and digging and contemplating that you're actually planting those seeds deep within your mind. And they, in a very real way, will take root and grow and bear fruit after their kind. Now, we don't work the Psalms in a superstitious manner. We don't believe that there's some sort of magic vibrations coming through these words and that the words are going to cause things to happen in the world. That's not how we work them. Some people believe that, but that's not how we work them. We are from the understanding that the magical seeds are within the psalm that need to be installed into our deep mind. And this is done by a process of reconditioning the deep mind. So many times you'll have to come back to the psalm again and again and again in order to get the results that you want. But I'll tell you this, I've never seen a system of magic that is so universal in its application and with such good results, especially for people that don't have a lot of training in magic. They're able to get some remarkable results by just following that psalmic formula on their own. All right, so now I've recorded a video for almost every psalm in the book of Psalms on my YouTube channel. And before the end of the year, we will have all 150 down there. But let's just use Psalm 23 as an example, okay? Because it's nice and short, and I'm going to just show you how you do it, okay? So let's just say that you had a fight with your spouse, really bad one, and you wanted to move through it, and you wanted forgiveness on both parts, okay? So that would be your intention. And then this is how we would work the psalm. We would say, "The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He maketh me to lie down in green pastures. He leadeth me beside the still waters. He restoreth my soul. He leadeth me in the paths of righteousness for his name's sake. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me. Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. Thou preparest a table before me in the presence of mine enemies. Thou anointest my head with oil, my cup runneth over. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever." And the way we work the magic is we just go back through and we say, okay, the Lord is my shepherd. Well, who is the Lord? Well, for us, we have to be very clear that the Lord doesn't mean a deity. It doesn't mean the Hebraic deity. It means the Godhead. So if you know anything about the tree of life of the Kabbalah, it's the top of the tree of life. It's Kether. It's the crown. And it's a pre-gender God. There's no gender involved. It's not God the Father, even though the language is He. It's not God the Father or Goddess the Mother. That would be spheres 2 and 3 on the tree of life. This is the Godhead. So this is pre-gender. It is the principle of life itself. It's that which is beating your heart right now. Okay? So the Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. So now this is a very powerful symbol. The shepherd being the Lord, and you being the sheep, that means the shepherd cares for its flock, cares for its sheep. So you're not going to, the shepherd is the best shepherd in the universe, right? Not going to make you go hungry, not going to allow you to be in pain, not going to allow you to have anything other than a perfect, wonderful, good life. So that seed we are planting, the Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He maketh me to lie down in green pastures. He leadeth me beside the still waters. Okay, so the still waters are those, meaning that calm emotion, those calm emotions, the green pastures, that lush, prosperous land in which you live. So the Lord of the Psalms, meaning that life force within you, is now guiding you so that you have prosperity and peace. He restoreth my soul. So anything about your soul that is bothering you, anything that is existential despair is now being taken from you. He restoreth my soul. He leadeth me on the paths of righteousness for his name's sake. In the Psalms, in magic versus religion, okay? In magic, the name of something is the nature of it. So for his name's sake, he leadeth me in paths of righteousness. That means that you're going to go all the right ways that you need to go in order for you to experience the nature of this power, which is perfect love, perfect infinite intelligence, infinite safety, infinite prosperity, all of the good that you want. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me. Now we're talking directly to this power. So the valley of the shadow of death is everything within this mortal world. Everything you do in this mortal world is a potentially fearful experience. So yes, even though you're walking amongst the living dead basically here, you're not going to worry about it because your true life exists within. Within you is all power, all safety, all goodness, and that is what the Lord represents. Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. Now, the rod and the staff of a shepherd are guiding implements. They're not implements of torture. It's what a shepherd uses to gently guide the flock on their way where they need to be, right? Thou preparest a table before me in the presence of mine enemies. Okay, so you don't have to worry if there's anything bad in your life. If anything bad appears in your life, you don't have to worry because it's taken care of for you. All you have to do is come to the table that this power within you has set for you, and you know that all is well. You don't have to worry about your enemies because those are taken care of for you. You don't even have to experience them. Thou anointest my head with oil, my cup runneth over. To anoint the head with oil in this particular sense, think of a shepherd caring for the flock. So you're being taken care of. Your cup runneth over, meaning that you have no wants. Everything you need, everything that you require is always there at every moment of time and point of space. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life. So not you chasing after the things that you want, not chasing after the solving of your problems, not you chasing after the prosperity that you need or the love that you desire. It's following you. Now, how about them apples? Isn't that exciting? You don't even have to worry about stuff anymore because you're casting a kind of spell that gives you a charmed life, that this stuff just comes to you because you are so magnetic to it. Okay? Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever. Now, what's the house of the Lord? It's not a place. It's not a place up in the sky that only Christians go to or only Jews go to. No, 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 no. The house of the Lord, from a magical perspective, is your natural dwelling. It's where you actually live right now. Everything that is not perfect in your life, everything that is fearful, everything that is not the good that you desire is outside of the house. And now you're going to dwell within the house of the Lord because you're not going to want to go outside on your own anymore. You're not going to want to wander off because you know that you being cared for in this way doesn't take away your free will. It doesn't take away your creativity. It actually gives you the opportunity to have your freedom, to have your creativity, to have the life that you want. So you want to be cared for by this power. You want to allow yourself to be cared for by this power so that you can dwell within that house. You can dwell within the true reality of where you belong. Okay? And so that's how we work it. It's just that simple. You go through the psalm once, and then you go back through it again, and you consider the thoughts. By considering those thoughts, you're planting them deep into your mind. Now, if you want to add things to this, like candles and perfumes and talismans and charms and poppets, that is absolutely fine. And the psalms are one of those bizarre little systems that do not require anything but itself, but lends itself to other things as well. So you can use as much other ritual as you want when you're working psalm magic or none. And that's how psalm magic works. And I hope this was interesting to you, and I can't wait to work with you again. Please come see me on my website, arielscorner.com. That's ariels-corner.com, Ariel's Corner with a hyphen.com. I'm on Facebook, Ariel Gatoga. I'm on Instagram, ariel.gatoga. And of course, I'm on YouTube, Ariel Gatoga. And my YouTube channel has all the psalm videos as well as a lot of other kind of spells and magical things that might be of interest to you. And I can't wait to see you again. Talk to you soon. Blessed be.